It appears as if, despite the pleading from the BBC, that Disney is not interested in Doctor Who. Now, they've voiced at Disney, at least from what we've heard from insiders over the last couple of years, that they were dissatisfied with everything Russell T Davies was doing. Obviously, it went very poorly in the ratings. On top of this, Disney wanted one thing from the BBC, and the BBC, for some reason, just can't figure out how to give it to them. And this is leading to what they're doing now. Now, there were a slew of articles over the weekend that are saying Doctor Who is returning in a matter of days. And it was pretty much clickbait. I'm going to get into the real story where they buried the lead in all of this in just a moment. Pretty interesting. You got to read between these lines because it's dismal for Doctor Who. As much as they keep trying to keep the brand alive, everybody knows that there's massive problems going on, and they can't hide it at this juncture. And the war between the land and the sea is not going to make things better. Again, despite what they're saying. So hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for being here as we talk about all things Doctor Who and science fiction. This is your real science fiction news. I'm a science fiction writer myself, my friends. My name's John Delarose, and I would love for you to check out my book, The Stars Entwined. This is a space opera, a big war between Arishans and humans that builds up. It's a wonderful trilogy. It starts right here, and if you like quality science fiction, you're going to really enjoy this. So check it out. It's in the description below. I'm trying to bring things back to the way they were in like the 80s before, all this stuff started spiraling downhill. And I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Grab it on ebook, print, and audio. It starts a trilogy, and of course, I'm doing a new space exploration trilogy that's spinning out of this, and I'm doing my take on time travel. I'm writing it really slowly. I've been promoting it over the last couple of months, even though I'm not done with the book, because I just want to get it right. Time travel is a very difficult thing to do, and actually, Doctor Who did it for a very long time, so I want to nail it for you guys. So please check it out in the description below. I appreciate you guys for reading, and let's get into this news right here. So yes, it came on the mirror. Doctor Who to return to BBC in just a matter of days after Disney deal. Disney deal? Wait a minute. Collider went with this. Doctor Who is officially returning to the BBC, but there's a catch. And like I said, this is all clickbait right here. And of course, if you've ever read The Mirror or Collider before, you know exactly what they publish all the time. So yes, Doctor Who is, quote, returning to the BBC in rerun form, with Matt Smith stuff playing. So yes, it's not that interesting. Everybody's, yes, please clap, everybody. Because what would happen over the last couple of months was actually Doctor Who was taken off of streaming services, and it was just kind of removed everywhere. We had it on HBO Max here in America, and it's gone. And they're trying to come up with deals of where to stream things and the like, and it's been just kind of a rough thing. Now, what Disney wanted out of the Doctor Who deal originally is, as they were bringing over the new stuff, they were hoping they were going to get that back catalog. And if you don't know how the streaming services really work, they make a ton of money off of the back catalog. Paramount Plus, the reason that they are all in on Star Trek all the time is not because these new episodes or anything make a ton of money. They're keeping that brand alive, and they're doing those as advertising more so, because people rewatch The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and the original series over and over and over again, and that keeps those streaming services going. The watch hours on those is absurd, and it'd be the same thing with Doctor Who if Doctor Who actually was on a network that was easy to stream. I mean, gosh, I guess we got the classics on this thing called BritBox, but I'm not going to subscribe to another freaking service just to go back and do that again. If it was on Disney Plus, it'd be a lot easier, and of course, a lot of people would watch that content on Disney Plus over and over and over again. That's why they want Doctor Who. That's what they were attempting to do. And so when Russell T Davies originally pitched what he was doing, I'm going to bring back David Tennant. Everybody loves David Tennant. Oh, cool. That's great. It seemed like it was going to be something that was going to like re-usher in this era to where, of course, we're going to get all that Doctor Who, and Disney hoped they could get those reruns there afterwards. Now, for whatever reason, they weren't ever able to secure that deal with the BBC, and that's actually what led to all these problems as it went along. They had a 27-episode deal with Gatwa and the company, and of course, they've done that now, and all that's done with the war between land and sea. It ends all the episodes that they were contractually obligated to do, and so that's going to come out in 2026, which this article also states. And of course, nobody's looking forward to that. That's going to get terrible ratings, even worse than Doctor Who, because it's not even really Doctor Who. It's a different thing, right? So what's hidden in this is pretty interesting as they get into this situation is that BBC is actually faltering and unable to make a deal with Disney. And that's when you get into this article, and that's where it gets pretty interesting. They've been trying, they've been pushing ever since the Billie Piper reveal at the very end of the series. Of course, they had these hopes that Disney was going to come in and swoop in with another deal to, of course, fund this. And the BBC doesn't have that going on whatsoever. And so now, of course, the BBC is like, okay, well, we've got all our streaming deals, which which we've not been able to get going now. So we're going to start re-airing some of the old stuff at this point and keep the brand alive, at least in reruns, which again, it doesn't mean much. It's on the BBC, and of course, do people even watch live TV much anymore? But this is what they've said in response to this. Any Whovians out there, rest assured, Doctor Who is going nowhere. Yeah, it's going nowhere fast. Disney has been a great partnership, and it continues with the war between the land and the sea next year. Going forward, with or without Disney, Doctor Who will still be on the BBC. Well, please clap with that. Now, we're at a spot where, of course, nothing's in development. So as much as this says Doctor Who will be just in a matter of days after the Disney deal, there is no new Disney deal, which is what this implies. They can't come to terms with Disney. That's a massive problem that they have right now, and I don't know what is the problem with the BBC on that level, but obviously they're not able to do so, because I know what Disney wants out of it, which is those classic episodes, right? But on top of that, there's not going to be any new Doctor Who really either. It's not in development. It's not going forward. They don't have a showrunner. They don't. I know Russell T Davies wrote a season 3, but it was implied that Gatwa was going to be a part of that, so that would all have to be rewritten anyway. And so even if they went forward with that, that doesn't start anything till next year, which means, of course, no Doctor Who would be on the air till 2027 or 2028, given how a lot of streaming stuff goes these days. So Doctor Who's not going to be on the air for the next couple of years. This is a massively botched thing, and these articles are just lying to people straight up. And of course, it got me to click on it, right? I mean, this is exactly what they intend to do. Oh, we're going to get a click out of this because they're going to see, John Delarose is going to go see what's happening with Doctor Who now. But I can explain it to you so you don't have to go through these articles. These articles always lie. Of course, the shill media is doing what the shill media always does, pretending everything's hunky-dory and that everything's going to be fine with all this stuff. And of course, they're talking about the war between land and sea here, as they've got no actual information in this whatsoever. Right? And so it comes after the BBC's chief content officer addressed concerns at the Edinburgh TV Festival over the show's return. And this is exactly what she said on this. So that's it. I had to wrestle myself as to whether I continued with the role, said Gatwa as he went out of this. And all of this is just old information. But guess what? They're going to be rerunning Doctor Who Matt Smith stuff. Yay. Okay. Well, I hope that a streaming service actually does pick this sort of stuff up. I would love to go back and just rewatch all the Tom Baker stuff again in like an easy to watch format. Yeah, I know there's other ways to do so out there if you sail the seas and stuff, but I'm not into that. As a creator myself, I can't advocate for it. But at this time, like, this is what's happening. For some reason, the BBC can't seem to get its act together, even on that back-end business end, and that's killing interest in Doctor Who, and that's killing interest in all of science fiction overall. By the time they actually do come back, I think fans are just gone at that point, and I don't think anybody's going to be coming back for a Billy Piper at this juncture. It seems to be like a Billy Piper sort of thing is just another gimmick and is just going to lead to more of the same stuff that we had with Jodie Whittaker, which we didn't like to begin with. So why would they even go there? Well, it's because the BBC does as the BBC does. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate you for being here. Check out my Stars Entwined. It's in the description below. Thanks for reading, guys. We'll be back soon.